Welcome to the NFL Power Rankings presented by the U.S. Army. Dan Hellie alongside the man who led the NFL in touchdown catches in 2012, James Jones, ladies and gentlemen. And the creator of these Power Rankings, the star of this show, Elliot Harrison.
How you doing?
Good to see you, my friend. I'm doing very well. What is in store today?
A couple of really cool things, actually. We're going to try to sort out what the Cowboys actually are, and we got a ton of movement in the top 5, so the best in the league. We're moving around.
All right, let's start in the top 10. The Rams remain at number 1, riding Todd Gurley to victory in a chilly Denver on Sunday, Elliot.
So this isn't the movement because these guys are still the best team in the league. And look, everybody wants the Rams to win 40-10 every week. James, that's not the way it goes.
No.
There are a couple places in pro football that are very difficult places to play. Seattle's one. Rams played close there last week. Arrowhead's another. And Denver, that's another. The point is the Rams won. They're still the most complete team in the league. And Todd Gurley, when Jared Goff's not going well, just lean on him.
That must be nice.
But not only that, not only did they play on the road, every week you know you're going to get every team's best shot. Whatever team you're playing, you're going to get their best punch. And they are handling it. Okay, we can't throw it, we're going to run it. Okay, we can't run it, we're going to throw it. This is a scary team. And then they decided to show up and play some defense as well. Yes, number 1 team.
The ultimate weapon in Todd Gurley, 208 yards there in San Francisco coming up this week. Patriots up 2 spots to number 2 after winning that epic showdown with the Chiefs.
Well, they beat the number 2 team. First of all, Dan, you can point to the defense. There are some problems there, although they made some nice plays in this game at times. But you look at the offense. You got Sony Michel running the football. You've got your big play guy now in Josh Gordon, right? You've got Julian Edelman back. James White is as good as third down back or first down back in football. And then every defense schemes for Rob Gronkowski. So it's pick your poison if you're playing the Patriots.
Listen, Sony Michel, the addition of him is giving this offense balance. And when you got to try to stop that run game now and you have the play-action pass with Gronkowski and Edelman, this offense is about to take off. And we haven't even really talked about Josh Gordon and how his role is going to expand.
Sony Michel, 105 yards per game over the last 3, along with 4 touchdowns. Here is a complete look at the top 10. Rams, Patriots 1 and 2, Bengals at 10, Elliot.
Yeah, one note here, Dan. I can't stand dropping a team on a bye, but I just couldn't put the Chiefs underneath the Saints after their performance in New England. Both those teams are contenders, legit.
The Steelers rising 4 spots after that statement win in Cincinnati.
Blitz is coming.
Here it comes, and a quick pop over the middle, running free. That's Antonio. 10-5, touchdown Pittsburgh. You gotta be here. He's gonna be hit, sacked. Ball's out. When the ball is out, the Steelers dive on it in the end zone. Ford, and that's a touchdown. Connor gets the call. Connor up over the top. Yes, they rule touchdown. Andy Dalton is devoured. Touchdown, Antonio Brown.
He was excited about that one.
I know, because he hit AB.
Exactly.
They're back on the same page.
All right, you saw the Steelers there. I see the quizzical look on your face. They're at number 8. You think they're a top 10 team?
I don't think they're a top 10 team. I'm not a believer in the Steelers. I'm not a believer in their defense, man. I just look back to when they played Cleveland. I see what they did against Baltimore. They are a 50-50 team, man. You don't know what you're going to get from them. And if it wasn't for one penalty in that game, they probably lose this one against Cincinnati, too. I think the Panthers are better than them. I still think Cincinnati is a better team than them. But the guy that created the show put him up there at number 8, but I don't think they're up there.
Oh,
no.
that was a little pitchfork.
That was a spear in the back from 400 yards. By the way, cool murals here. I like this. That's a major power ranking up for our support staff. I tell you what, 17 points allowed, 21 points allowed the last 2 weeks. That means their defense is getting better, James. You already know what the offense can do. Okay, and then if you do get Le'Veon Bell back, why can't this team contend for another Super Bowl title? They don't need their defense to be a top 10 unit. They need them to be viable. That's it.
Once they play these good teams, you're going to need that defense to step up, and I don't know if their defense is ready.
21st best scoring defense in the NFL. Probably need them to be a little bit better than that. To your point, they have been a little bit better than that the last couple of games. All right, a look at 11 through 20 here. Bears, Eagles, 11 and 12. Then you have the Dolphins and Browns at 19 and 20.
I like the Bears as a complete team there. I still got them at number 11. I will say this, though. You hurt Khalil Mack, his ankle, and the rest of the defense kind of fell apart.
Packers remaining steady at 13. Now, we're going to start with JJ on this one, Elliot. I think you understand.
Mm-hmm.
The Pack attack, man, I have to agree with him. He got this one correct.
At 13.
I leave him at 13. And I say that because I don't like the way we looked early in that game. A lot of miscommunication on offense. Defense didn't play well. I did not like the way we look. We found a way and we got the win, and you're going to have to win games like that. You're going to have to win some ugly ones, but I'm going to leave them at 13 until after this bye and we beat the Rams.
Yeah, I looked the pack right where they were. They were not impressive in their win. That's why I didn't move them up, Dan. In fact, I moved the 49ers up in a loss. Green Bay still got some major problems on the defensive side of the ball.
Let me just say this. I really like when you guys agree. We're going to go from James's favorite team to Elliot's. As I said earlier, they are Elliot's favorite team, which might be one reason they're on a rocket ship. They jumped 9 spots after beating the Jags. You agree with that?
You see my face,
I know.
man. You see my face.
That's
Absolutely not, man. I do not. I'm definitely not a believer in Dak. Yeah, he made some plays with his legs, but I feel like Jacksonville was still on the bus. They never even got off the bus to play that game, and the Cowboys hit him in the mouth. But I am not a believer. He threw for 200 yards, and they won a game, rushed for 80 yards, and now everybody wants to praise him. They want to move him all the way up. No, I'm not a believer in the Cowboys. I think the Texans are better than the Cowboys, and they're way down there in the 20s and stuff like that, and they dominated the Cowboys.
He can't wait to defend himself.
They went deep in overtime in front of their home crowd. They dominated the Cowboys.
But you got them way at 20, and you moved the Cowboys up 9?
Let me sort this out, all right? Calm down over there. First of all, they have a top 5 player at tailback. Okay?
Yes,
we know that which helps their defense.
Top 5 player, not just running back.
Yeah, not just running back. Thank you. Also, second in points allowed. That defense is only going to get better. David Irving back. Sean Lee gets healthy. That linebacker core is going to be legit. You've seen Jalen Smith out there making plays. On Dak, I've been with you. You know that on this deal. However, I said if you got a big and athletic quarterback, you're going to talk about it all the time, then use it. We saw design runs. Dak took off outside of the pocket. Now you make the defense play 11 on 11. It's totally different. You remember Alfred Morris's rookie year?
Of course.
When they had to play RG3? He went off. That's what you do, and the Cowboys did it so well against Jacksonville.
But I think that's easy to scheme for, and I think that teams that play the Cowboys are going to scheme for that, and they're going to force him to throw the ball, and I still don't think that he can win games on his right arm.
Eventually, he's going to have to throw the ball to win games. They are at FedEx Field playing the Redskins this week. Who wins that?
I got to go with the Redskins, man. I love what I see from the Redskins, especially last week playing Carolina, man. I love what I see from them. Alex Smith, he's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to take care of the ball, and they're getting some explosive plays. I like the Redskins. Redskins
have trouble stringing together those wins. Following a win, they are just 1-7 in their last 8. We want to know from you who's going to win. Is it going to be the Cowboys or the Redskins? You can just hit us up at the NFL Network handle on Twitter, or just use the hashtag NFL
I know what you think.
Power Rankings.
With your Gus Brought
You know what?
head.
You know what? I would like to think Redskins. I think the Cowboys are going to win this one. I'm just letting you know.
You don't believe
All right,
that.
21 through 30. Texans, Jets at 21 and 22, and the Cardinals rounding out the top 30.
They sure are. I like Sam Darnold, the way he is progressing. He really impressed me this week. I know it was against the Colts, but they're up 3 spots.
The Titans fall 10 spots to 24. This is a team that was 3-1, Elliot.
Yeah, well, they were 3-1, and they were also a 5 of 15. i.e. give up 5 sacks in their first 15 plays against the Ravens. That's the first 15 plays. That's not just passes, James.
Yes, those are the plays that you get on the piece of paper, man, before you go to bed and you study them plays. You know exactly what your job is, and they didn't get it done.
All right, time for Too High, Too Low. 3 teams, starting with the Vikings at 5. JJ, what do you say?
Man, the Vikings are too high, and the reason why I say they're too high is because their quarterback. I know he's making a lot of money, but he turns the ball over too much. 8 turnovers, I think it's tied for 5th. He turns it over too much. I'm not a believer in the Vikings. They're too high, and I ain't just saying that because I play in the North.
Okay, wait a minute. They have a very talented defense that hasn't played up to that level just yet. But when you have a quarterback that has proven he can stay in track meets, remember the loss to the Rams, Adam Thielen may be the best receiver in the league right now.
Remember the loss against the Bills?
Yeah, I remember the loss against the Bills like 4 weeks ago.
And that defense is coming around, by the way.
It
the
is.
best third down defense in football. The Cardinals didn't pick up a single third down entire game. Not one. Ooh. Ravens up 4 spots. To number 7, James.
The Ravens are another team that is too high. I am not a believer in Joe Flacco just yet. The defense I'm a believer in, but I'm not a believer in Joe Flacco in that offense. 1 week they'll score 6, 1 week they'll score 26. I don't know. They are too high. They got to get more consistent for me.
All right, here's the deal, though. If you split the difference between 6 and 26 there, James, you're looking at 16 points, and that's about what they're going to give up this year. They don't need to score that much. I think they're a playoff team because of it. 7 referees reflects that.
I think when good teams play them, I think they're going to score a little more.
They're going to need a score this week because they're taking on the Saints. Finally, Seahawks up 3 spots to 18.
I can't.
Man, they are too low, man. You got to raise them up, man. Bring the Seahawks up. Bring them up some. Listen, I was one of those guys that was on the Seahawks. You give away all your players. How are you going to win? And they are surprising me. They have found a running game to help out Russell. They're like number 3 in the league the last 2 weeks, and they are starting to find their way. I gotta give them some credit.
Way back, a month ago, Dan, man, this team, they're not even going to win 4 games, man. Now they got 3 wins, and you're on the bandwagon.
All the way on, too. Right. Both feet, I'm sitting down chilling.
A top 10 rushing offense, really without Russell Wilson. He's only run for 62 yards. How the Jags going to do in those next 4 games? Let's find out in Power Outage. Gentlemen?
All right, Dan. Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars, one of the surprising games of Week 6. They got blown out.
They did.
Is this a trend going forward? What's going to happen?
Absolutely not. I think this is the best thing. This is a blessing for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow. You got hit in the mouth. So now you understand, listen, we can't just come out here and think we are the best team. We got to go out here and prove it. They got hit in the mouth by the Cowboys. So they wake up this week. You heard their coach. They wake up. I want you to hit that for me with a W right there because they're going to win now.
All right, 4-3.
This one, they got to go across the pond. They got to play in London, a Philadelphia team who's kind of finding their way.
Yep.
I think the Jacksonville Jaguars, they go out there and they get a win as well right there against the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'll hit it for you, but I'm not going to agree with it for you. Here's the thing. The way you attack the Eagles is to attack their corners, attack their secondary. I don't think they are going to be able to beat this team if it's T.J. Yeldon back there. Now, you could say, hey, Leonard Fournette's going to be back. We know how hamstring injuries are, man. I don't know that they're going to be the kind of team that can go and beat the Eagles if he's not right.
Well, I always go to the defense, and the defense has to wake up. If they wake up, you allow 16 points, I think you got a shot to win that one.
Okay, well, 5-3 under
I know
protest.
everybody's looking at the Colts like, oh, this is an easy one, give them a W. This is a division game on the road. These are hard to win, but I'm going to say they go out there and they find a way to win. This is a dirty, nasty game, and they get the W right there.
All right, Pittsburgh.
And then they just go back to the drawing board. They're like the last 2 times we see the Steelers. They didn't have an answer for us. We dominated in every phase of the game. They're going to dominate again. I give them a W right there as well.
So we got 4 wins in a row, 7-3.
Absolutely. And the lights are still on for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, boy.
And then they do the Kirk Cousins. I don't know what this is right here, but that's the Kirk Cousins right there. Hey.
Here's another look at 1 through 10. Rams and Patriots 1-2. Ravens, Steelers 7-8. Bengals rounding out your
Looks good, Dan.
top 10. How about the 9th-ranked Panthers? They're in Philly this week. It is time now for Balance of Power. Take it away,
Balance of Power. You just might have got this one right, but we are going to see, man. We are going to talk this one right here. We are talking quarterbacks first. Listen. Thursday Night Football, I love what I've seen from Carson Wentz. And I'm not even talking about throwing the ball inside the pocket. I'm talking about scrambling, making plays with his leg. His knee is starting to look like it's 100%. He has confidence in that knee. I have to give this one to Carson Wentz right here for the quarterbacks. I'm going to touch this one right there.
Wow. Okay. Well, listen, I will say you get a knee injury that early in your career, it's a lot easier to recover. But Cam Newton's a different kind of player than Carson Wentz. Maybe not as good a passer right now, but the Eagles already showed they can win the Super Bowl without Wentz. Where would the Panthers be without Cam? 5-11, 4-12. Cam's an MVP-type player. I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
You may be right about that one right there with Cam, but man, running backs.
That's easy.
That's easy right there. I got to give this one to the Panthers. McCaffrey right there. Wide receivers, tight end. Listen, I'm looking at Ertz. I'm looking at Jeffries. I'm looking at Nelson Aguilar. It's tough for me to go away from the Eagles on this one. Touch that for me. I got to go right there, Philadelphia. And then defense, man. These are two big-time defenses, man. This one was tough. But I got to give this one to the Carolina Panthers right here.
I'm with you there. Okay, what are you doing here?
And then it comes down to the guys holding the clipboards over there, the coaches, man. And I know that the Eagles coach has a ring and he got the bling bling, but I love what Rivera's doing down there in Carolina.
Okay, here's the thing though, they won the Super Bowl last year. I mean, I realize Ron Rivera stamps all over that organization. I don't know that I can agree with that, but you go ahead, you make the pick.
No, I'm not agreeing with you, Ron Rivera.
All right. Wow.
That's the balance of power right there. You got it right, man.
There you go.
Let me tell you something. Carolina gonna win this game.
I kind of like what you guys are thinking there. Ron Rivera, though, really all or nothing. 4 losing seasons out of 8 years. When he doesn't have a losing season, he makes the playoffs. You can find out who's going to win all of the Week 7 games this Friday on NFL Game Day. Pick'em Hall of Famer Terrell Davis and our analytics expert Cynthia Freeling going to give you picks, scores, and predictions for the whole Sunday slate. NFL Game Day Pick'em Friday, 6:30 on NFL Network. I'll be joining that crew along with Aaron Coscarelli as well. Let's talk contenders and pretenders. James, how about the Bears? We were ready to crown them, and then they lost to Brock Osweiler for the 3rd time in 4 years.
Listen, man, I am on the Bears side, and it hurts me to say, but they are a contender. Listen, they seen Brock Osweiler run out there just like we did, and they like, oh, man, we finna have 3 picks, turnovers, and he came out there and played well and got him the W. But I think they're contenders still.
All right.
I
agree with
that. Redskins, Elliot, a team that is almost impossible to figure out, even for guys who are fans like me.
Yeah, but you have to. I mean, look where they are in the division standings right now. So, of course, they're contenders. They have a real opportunity this week to prove it by putting 2 games together back-to-back. This is a very important game for them against Dallas at home.
This is a monstrous game for them. All right, 2 contenders so far. Finally, the Falcons, Devontae Freeman on IR. He's the 5th Falcon starter put on IR this year. They're hoping he gets back eventually late this season.
Yes, and they're a contender to me, too. And I only say that because they can score with the best of them. I know the defense is struggling, but they can score with the best of them, and you're always going to have a shot when you're putting points on the board.